I'm Martin Weston, W-E-S-T-O-N. I'm the salon manager and master stylist at store number 2889 in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, I've been with the company since the year 2000, came in first as a master stylist and then moved up into assistant management and then as a manager. I've also worked as a craft leader, and for 3 years I worked as a platform artist through the Paul Mitchell program, the Market Trainer Advisor. You know, for me, education is vital, and it is such a deep passion of mine, and it has been for years. And it's either through my own learning or through teaching of others. Being part of this team would enable me to be able to continue down the path that I really love, and it's quite an exciting opportunity, so thank you. What I've done on my mannequin, I've taken her from a natural level 4 brown to a dimensional 3 level red, a natural level 6. In the nape, I used a 6 red gold with 20 volume. In the midsection between the parietal ridge and the occipital bone, I used a 7 gold red with 20 volume. And then on the top, I used an 8 red gold, also with 20 volume. And then for the highlights, what I did is I used a lightener with 20 volume and then just brought that up to a beautiful gold, which kind of strengthened the gold that was already in the reds. So let's begin our haircut. Alright, so what we're going to do is a classic A-line bob, and I've decided to start her about mid-neck, and I'd like to drop the sides down and cut that on the same angle as her jaw. And so what I've done is I've broken her down into 4 quadrants, equal quadrants, and then I've done a subsection at the nape, about 1 inch, so I can still see through the hair, and that's where we're going to begin our first cut. But so I go into the center and I cut about 1 inch wide section, and from there I begin my angle. I'm going to take your hair, and you're going to go palm to palm, and you're going to just follow that line. I'm going to go on to the other side. And connect the two. Again, working with your comb, it's much easier on a mannequin head to control the hair at the neck. And then what I like to do is pull these together just to make sure that they're nice and even. And then that becomes my guide. And from there, everything else drops down, and then we begin the cut. What I've done is I've already pre-cut the right side to follow along the line of the jaw. And on the left side, I'm going to mirror that. So what you're going to do, I already have my guideline on the bottom. You're going to take a section, a subsection, thin enough that you can still see your guideline through it. If it's too thick, then it gets choppy and then you're not able to see the work. So as long as you are maintaining nice thin sections, then your cutting should be a lot easier. So what I like to do, what I've learned, is if you stand directly in front of where you're cutting, the line is always much nicer. And then if you're cutting an A-line, you stay in one spot and you bring that hair to you. And that way you're getting that over direction, which allows that extra length. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that down. I can see my line underneath. And I'm going to just follow that line. Because I'm going on this angle, I like to keep my partings at that same angle first of all, it allows me to visually think of a line going down. So if you go on a horizontal parting, pretty soon you're cutting on a horizontal. So if you keep it on a diagonal, you're going to be cutting on a diagonal. Just cut parallel to your parts. Again, you're going to be cutting palm to palm. And just bring everything to you. And as you can see, I can still see through my hair. So don't rush your cutting. Precision always comes before speed. So if you're precise, then your work will be beautiful. Right now I'm point cutting just slightly to give it a softer edge. So what you want to do, continue to stay in that one position. It works for me. And you're going to bring that back to your original line, okay? And you're going to just cut. Remember, that line should be going all the way down. And then just finish off. So the next section that you're going to be working on is actually the front. You want to mirror those two sides together to make sure that they're nice and even. And again, stand right in front of it. I'm just going to take that little point off. Okay, now that we're through with the cut, we're going to begin the blowout. And what I like using the Redken 12, the Align. And just use a little bit, the size of a nickel. And then I like to just work that into the ends first, because that's the part that's going to be straightened out. I like a little lift at the root. So work that into the ends first. And then whatever's left over, I like to use that onto the rest of the hair. I'm going to stand behind the client, and I'm going to work it with a round brush. I want a little more volume on the crown, so I'm going to keep the root a little firmer. And again, you want everything to cool down. And just to recap what I've done on the hair, I started with a level 4 brown, and I used 3 red tones. At the nape, I used 6 red gold with 20 volume. In the midsection between the occipital bone and the parietal ridge, I used a 7 gold red with 20 volume. And then in the crown, I used 8 red gold with 20 volume. Highlights were done using our lightener with 20 volume, just to bring it up to a nice gold, which strengthens the gold that's in the red. And then for the haircut, I did a classic A-line bob. Began mid-neck in the back and followed along her jawline a little bit longer around the face. My name's Martin Weston, store number 2889 in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you very much.